Your Honorable, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning. Thank you for the host for inviting me as speaker for today. The title given to be discussed is very interesting because most of us do not know about the detainees' background. They are sentenced into prison not only to a particular case, but in between that, they are already involved in different cases too, such as domestic violence, drug, bullying, sexual abuse, petty cases, child abuse, reintegration, and etc. So, as correctional department and correctional officer, we need to have extra knowledge, or most have advanced ideas in dealing with all the cases to only one detainees. Sometimes the detainees also involved in terrorism. Okay. As an experienced worker, I'm also experienced in the correctional service. I have worked for 41 years as a counselor in the correctional service. I gained a lot of knowledge from the detainees. They share a lot of their problems, their behaviors can be observed when talking with us. And also, this is the way how we are going to see and find out and how we are going to help them in future. Because when I interview them, okay, from their behavior, from their way of approaching, the way of doing, the way of talking, the way of their confessing, it looks that they have a lot of other cases involved, such as child abuses and domestic violence. Okay, this type of cases, as a correctional officers, what we are going to do? We need something, ideas, something in our own self skills. We must have skills in dealing with these child abuses and domestic violence. For example, for example, I had experience doing this in overseas. See, in overseas, where I was doing my counseling to the Maldives prisoners. Most of them are child abuses and domestic violence because of what? They are island, and their situation and their surroundings makes them more child abuses and domestic violence. Okay? So now, as a professional correctional officer, you are learning what is the prevention, okay, precaution, treatment, or rehabilitation program is suitable for them. So, like child abuses and domestic violence, I would like to share with you all through my experience. First, we have to create awareness on domestic violence and child abuse and learn ways to protect yourself and intervene and help others when such issues arise. Understand types of abuse and community attitudes toward abuse. We have to understand types of domestic violence. For example, is that individual action or group action, such as happened in India recently? Rape cases, child rape cases. This is also we call as a type of domestic or child abuses. Okay, individual or group. Understand the profile of the abuser. Okay, for example, how old is he? But in time, I would like to share with you. In Maldives, most of them are 60 years old above. They are the abusers for child abusers. Yeah. Discuss the roles individuals in the community can play in helping victims of the violence and child abuse. Okay. Learn ways to intervene or help the victims of domestic violence and child abuses. So we as a correctional officers, we must find ways, 1001 ways to help people to solve their problem or decision making. Learn to work with children by understanding them. Okay? Learn to manage feelings as well as understand others' feelings. Now I feel that when I am interviewing a child abuse and also the victim, there's different type of feelings. Okay? The child been abused, and the abusers, they feel, and the characters is nothing for them. They feel so nothing happened to the child. So that is the root we must find. Learn ways to strengthen family bond. Sometimes family are broken. Sometimes the father and the mother don't listen each other. The brothers and sisters are fighting among each other. Learn to create a safe environment at home. This is very important. That's why now in Malaysia, they are building houses, at least one house with 3 rooms. Okay? Correctional officer, the next step we are going to take is to change ourselves to psychology and rehabilitation program. Here as must have an effective communication program to them, assertiveness program, make sure they are valued to themselves, recognize their emotional, okay? See where is the do and the don'ts of the family, dysfunction families, identify them using the Erik Erikson theory, the role identification. There, I put you a theory, Erik Erikson. Go and find the book and read. And also, what make them to bully? And we are the people to make sure that they are anti-bullying. Okay? And also, last is how to use religious approach in individual or group. Compassionate to the next issue I'm going to highlight is about petty crime, which involve several cases here as in the slide, here as vandalism, alcohol offenses, disorder conduct, possession of drugs, using of tobaccos, school disciplinary offense, traffic offense, criminal trespass, loitering, false reporting, and so on, as per on the screen. Used for these petty crime cases, we, as I plan, we need to use soft skills. Here as make them understand the threat violence as a public human concern. Give them awareness of mental health problem. Okay? Create wild target programs from them. What type of program? For example, what type of program we are going to use for this type of courses? So we use them the value as community reintegration programs. Okay. Don't forget there's a gender between each other. So for male is different type of program and female is the type of different program. Okay. Learn from the history how and where they came from, when they started doing this work, these crimes. So how, as a correctional officer, now we must find the ways and means to help this type of people. I'm sure all of you have the skills to help them in decision making, problem solving, self-value evaluation, okay, using interpersonal skills or intrapersonal skill to help them. Okay, beware when we are helping them. Sometimes this type of people, they are going around the bush as a correctional officers. Okay, burn the bush, bring them back. offenders. How to make awareness to the detainees and make them understand, okay? Understand themselves, manage themselves, understand other feelings, strengthen their themselves, value themselves, and create a safe environment among them. So, what type of approaches are the best? In my experience of reading, working, I feel that we have to understand the mental health status of the detainees in using the methodology or intervention of individual counseling, group counseling, family counseling, release counseling, seminar, static group, peer confrontation, probe in, assertive training, and others as in the slide. Ladies and gentlemen, the next is about juvenile program. We are going to change the juvenile, modify the juvenile to be a good citizen and without committing any crime upon release. Make them skillful under our rehabilitation program. Make them very good mental health and be a good society or community upon release. What type of intervention we're going to use? I feel that we have to educate them equally as internally or externally. Most of them are feeling introvert and extrovert. So we must let them understand what's meaning of introvert and extrovert. So uncertainty to act as sign of radicalization. We must train them to be a parenting style and very committed to family. Train them to be a good preacher or house of worship. Okay, and also we used to make them awareness program to have awareness program. This slide is very important for us. It's about awareness program for youth radicalization among us. We are youth, not me. You are youth. Okay, so what type of intervention we are going to use to make them become a value youth in the community and to themselves? We have to form assignment of the threat. For example, what threat they can happen to them if they do this or they do that. Okay, we must educate the role of the intervention to them. For example, how to educate them to make sure that their feelings is different than other feelings. Destroying other people things is very bad habit. Okay, raise the awareness of locals. Okay? Enhance domain awareness. Okay? Set a focus group students to overcome their concern. So, like in university, in schools, in college, we must have groups. We call them mentor groups to help the mentees. This is very very important. We must have mentor groups, or we call them assertive groups or assertive trainings program. Okay, and also after that, who are going to follow them if they drop out from school? So focus on after school programming to implement awareness training on extremist violence. Okay, to strengthen the review and involvement by family, strengthen family outreach and engagement, develop a rational lifeline. Develop a rational lifeline is very very important, where they themselves must draw their own lifeline, how to be with community, how to be with the family, how to strengthen themselves. This is very very important for a detainees, from where they will learn from us as a correctional officer. We are the people creating ideas for them to change them, to modify them. What's conditioning? Maybe you are thinking about what is conditioning. Another word is conditioning is manipulating. How people can manipulate you as a youth, as a student, as me as an elder. For example, to bring me to become a terrorist, to make me to become a inmate, to make me to steal, to make me to kill people. So these are the steps where we got 7 steps in the psychology approach steps, we call it. First, the person will observe us. For example, if I'm a target person, okay, I'm a target person. They will observe me. The methodology they use is observation. They observe it. Can we target him to bring him to become burglar, to make him to steal? So he will come near to us and listen to us. What we are talking, what is we are talking to others. Okay, maybe for example, he listen. We are talking to our friend. "Oh, I have no money. I have no money." For example, so when we have no money, they will target us. When they target us, they will come and approach us nearby. Okay, they will approach us. After approach, they will test us. For example, they give you $10. They give you 200, $1,000. Okay, can you buy drug for me? You buy drug 10 ringgit, the extra is your money. You see, they test us a little. Okay, then he will split us from other gangs, other community. Then the networking will use. They will take us as the networking to bring drugs, and we will change ourselves to be a inmates, a detainees, or other drug offenders program. The drugs offender program is whatever approaches we are going to do. People who take drugs, we must know how to manage them emotionally and psychologically. We have to shape their behavior before, after, using spiritual management approach, and also we use vocational and survival skills management. Drug is number one issue in this world. As a correctional officer, what are you going to plan? What type of intervention you are going to use? So in the prison department, in the correctional in prison department, they use the therapeutic community program where we have individual counseling with them, we have family counseling with them, we have group therapy among the inmates, among the detainees. We have the detainees pre-meeting. We elect a leader of the among the prisoners. They have their own meeting. They have their own departmental meeting, observed by the officers, the correctional officers, while making them to change themselves to become a valuable people as what they have done outside without any value. Okay, so we have assertive training. So this is a types of plans we use to overcome drug users. Program or a rehabilitation program for them. In the prison department, we divide them to 4 phases. Phase 1 is disciplinary development, where we change their discipline. For example, a simple discipline, can they sing the national anthem? So we'll teach them until they can sing the national anthem. In phase 2, personality enhancement, where we do counseling a lot to make them understand who are they. Okay? So it will take around 1 year to 2 years. In phase 3, we'll teach them about skill. It's a very good approaches for them, where most of the detainees, they want to be in the phase 3. Okay? Phase 3 is development of skill, where they can learn about sewing, carpentry, and etc. If you can ask a question to me, I'll answer you all later. In phase 4 is the community integration, where I will talk to you in my last slide. In rehabilitation program, we use a lot of psychology theories, such as Eric Erikson theory, 8 steps of human development, to make them understand in what area they are, in what area they are high, in what area they are low. So another is rational emotive behavior therapy, to make sure that irrational behavior they're having. Second is how they have been manipulated. Way to find out Johari's window, which is the do and the don'ts. the most important is using Abraham Maslow theory, where to find out their basic human needs. Where is lacking? The lacking make them what? Making them weak. That is very important. And also thinking system, connective theory, where they think of lateral thinking or anything. And also using the communication using soft skill theory. We will teach them everything. Sir, most of foremost, we have to educate these prisoners or assist them to integrate into the community to provide a potential acquisition of skill that may assist them to pursue education, seek employment, or use their time in more constructive manner. Here as program we must use is maybe the education they got internally not enough. So we have to train them externally. How they're going to live? Living in a small community and living as a big community. And also change their mindset in reducing offending behaviors. Give them effective administration of themselves by critical thinking, bilateral thinking, or make their thinking system or connective very powerful and strong. So they hope in future they don't come back and doing the same thing as what we are talking so long. We can conclude that can you help people? That is important. Are you ready to help people? When? Where? How? Why? What makes you to help people? From where are you going to get all this? Is through sharing knowledge from a speaker or attending seminar or attending any workshop to improve your knowledge. So it's not easy to change people, but we can change them. If we have the ability, we have the confidence, we can change people. In changing people, we also must have a strong communication skill, have determination in what we do. Don't accept what we get back, but what we do in helping people, that is very important in our life. Thank you for spending your time in listening and watching these slides. In future, I hope we can run our presentation face-to-face presentation where a lot of Q&A can be questioned and asked. Thank you very much. And once again, I would like to thank the host for inviting me as a simple man to share my knowledge to you all. Thank you very much.